Today we will discuss our next topic, that is transmission techniques. Transmission techniques, that means, for example, we want to send the data from one device to another device. These techniques helps us to sending the data. So we have basically various types of techniques. First one we will cover, that is Unicast. Unicast is also called as P2P. P2P means peer-to-peer, or we can say that one-to-one connection. In Unicast technique, we have single sender and single receiver. So to understand Unicast, let us take the example of two computers. Now we are taking the first computer. Provide the name as, and let us take the next computer. Provided the name R. Here S stands for sender and R stands for receiver. Now S can send the data to R in the unidirection, that means in the single side. This is the example of Unicast. That means we have one sender and one receiver. Sender is sending the data to receiver. Sender is sending and receiver is gathering that data. And that data is going only in the single direction. The unidirection is only possible. We can't send the data in both the directions. This is technique called as the Unicast or peer-to-peer or one-to-one connection. So now the next one we are going to discuss, that is multicast. Multicast means, example, we have a single sender and the multiple receivers. We have one computer that is sending the data and we have multiple computers, they are receiving the data. So the main thing is single sender and multiple receivers. So let's take the example of multiple computers in which we have a single sender. Provided the name S, here again S stands for the sender, and we have multiple receivers. Just draw the receivers. Now provide the name to all the three computers as R1, R2 and R3. Here you can see that there is a single sender and three receivers. So such type of technique in which there is single sender and multiple receivers is called as the multicast. Now the next term we are going to discuss is broadcast. Broadcast is same as the multicast, in which we have the single sender and the multiple receivers. But the main question arises, the difference between multicast and broadcast, because again we have one sender and multiple receivers. So what is the difference? Now just take the example of a meeting in which all the candidates are interested. That technique is called as the multicast. And again take the example of a seminar in which few people are interested and few people are not interested. That is called as the broadcast. So say example, if R1, R2 and R3 are interested in receiving the data, then it is called as the multicast. And if R1 is interested, R2 is interested, but R3 is not interested in receiving the data, then it is called as the broadcast. So example of multicast is conference and the example of broadcast is seminar. Here right stands for the interested people and cross stands for the not interested candidate. So that is the difference between multicast and broadcast. And the next term we are going to discuss is geocast. So we have discussed the unicast, that means whenever we have the one-to-one communication. We have discussed multicast and broadcast, that is one-to-many communication. Now what is the geocast? So example, we want to communicate within India to outside Pakistan. That is called as geocast. That means we are specifically focusing on the countries now. This is called the geocast. We can also say it like this, country to country communication. Now for example, we have regions like a country, India. We provided the name as IN. Here IN stands for India. And take the example of any other region. Just take the example as US. Provide the name as US. Now US stands for the United States. And now we are going to communicate between India and US. This type of communication between the geographic areas or the regions is called as the geocast. So today we have discussed the four casting techniques, the unicast, the one-to-one connection, multicast, that means one-to-many, broadcast, again one-to-many, but we have the interested as well as the not interested people, and the geocast, that means the country to country communication. So that's all about the transmission techniques. Thank you.